morning and welcome to the Kia Cee'd SW. As you can tell by the sun rising over that direction, it's very early in the morning. Although it is winter time, so it's 8:30. Okay, but it's early for me to be out doing a review. Normally, I like to kind of do these things in the middle of the day where I've had time to think about it and what I'm going to say. But this morning, I'm just going to start talking and leave it at that. The SW, of course, is a derivative of the standard Kia Cee'd hatchback. And why Kia wants a particular review of this, they really want it reviewed, is because the Cee'd SW is nearly half the sales of the Cee'd. It seems to be a very popular estate, and I can see why. The looks are spectacular. It really does. From the outside, it looks gorgeous. It might be, apart from the Volvo V40, it might be actually the most handsome of these hatchbacks on the market. Now, what I like is, first of all, the comfort. It's very comfortable in here. The cabin is tidy, it's quiet. It has that particular feel of a bit of German stuff, a bit of kind of European feeling to the entire cabin. And like, the materials are very good. There's a bit of hard plastic here in the centre, and then there's a bit of soft kind of rubberized material here, and the steering wheel is nice. Although I will say one thing as a proviso: the steering wheel the centre of the steering wheel seems to be set very low, but the steering wheel is actually quite high. It's right up at the top, but it's low. It's because of the big speedo dials in the background. Now, that does kind of make you feel like you're putting your hands on your knees to drive the steering wheel, which is kind of a weird one. But, I mean, you get used to it pretty quick. It doesn't really bother you for too long. Comfort is fabulous inside the car. The seats are very comfy. You'd have no problem spending your day sitting in the seat and driving for hundreds of miles at the wheel of this car. I've done it. I know. Fuel economy is about on par with everybody else. Nothing spectacular. In around the 5 or 5.2 litres per 100 kilometres is what you're kind of going to average. The more time you spend on the motorway, the happier the diesel engine is. But the practicality-wise of the SW means that it's actually really clever in the boot. Although there are some things that I wouldn't be too keen on. There's a bar in this one that's been set, which are usually very useful. And by useful, I mean that you can slide it back and forwards to kind of trap different parts so things don't shift about too much. But the problem I have is that bar is quite difficult to move. It does require a bit of manhandling to move that bar. I don't mind that so much, but I would prefer if it slid back and forward a bit easier. Oh no, I want to go that way. I don't want to go that way. I don't know where that way goes. Oh, I want to go this way. It does have these steering modes, which I do have a little bit of a problem with. Right, so there's sport, normal and comfort. 3 modes on the steering wheel. The heaviest being sport and the lightest being comfort. So basically you can only make the steering wheel heavier from sport. So once you put it in there, it's always going to be there. Now, sport is fine for driving along the road out here on the back roads and zooming about the place. But when you actually get around to parking, sport is pretty light, but you can make it lighter. Which all sounds okay, until you forget what mode you're in and you put it into comfort when you want sport, and you suddenly find the steering wheel turns into this place in front of you, and the wheel gets lighter and lighter and lighter every time you want to turn in anywhere or do anything. The steering is just getting lighter, and it's a very creepy, weird sort of feeling. You don't quite feel like you're properly attached to the car. You don't quite know what the wheels are doing on the outside. Now, that's handy for parking, because you can literally turn the car on a sixpence, and it's very light to do so. But when it comes to driving out here, the only one that's useful is sport, because it makes that steering wheel just a little bit heavier and easier to kind of keep in a straight line, top dead centre, simpler to keep in sport mode. Overall, I think the Kia Cee'd is an exceptional car. It really is. It's affordable. Again, I have to mention the 7-year warranty that's on it. That sounds brilliant, but it is restricted to 100,000 kilometres. Don't forget that, okay? You might actually end up doing 100,000 kilometres in 5 years. So, your 7-year warranty ends at 100,000 kilometres. But At the same time, if you're a low mileage individual, you'll easily use the whole 7 years. And if you're that kind of person who sells their car after 3 or 4 years, you're going to be selling it with 2 years warranty attached. And that's always good, you know. 2, 3, 4 years warranty still left on it when you're going to sell it. I tell you, you can't really go far wrong with that. The Cee'd holds its own for value for money, length of warranty, and availability. I mean, you know, it's looks wise that the Cee'd wins. This SW, I think, is one of the handsomest looking hatchback saloon cars on the market at the moment. I do wish Kia had just gone one setting on the old steering wheel thing instead of me having to press that button the whole time to find the most comfortable setting. But other than that, there's very little to complain about in this car. Plenty of room in the back, plenty of room in the front, big boot now that it's an SW as well. What more could you want?